I'm saying it. America deserved 9/11.
What's going on, everybody?
You said America deserves that.
I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, fantastic afternoon, fantastic prenup, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is HasnAbi broadcast coming to you live once again, back, baby, from not sunny. As a matter of fact, very cloudy, very gray, rainy California, Los Angeles, folks. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, All the girls and all the MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is, wow, it's February 6th, 2025, 12:38 p.m. Once again. I just experienced this day yesterday in Japan, and it is the same day once again. Wow. This is part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news before you guys say, where's Kaya? Where's Kaya? I understand. She is coming in a little bit, in like 20 minutes, actually. She'll be here in 20 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a time traveler. That's right. I have an announcement. I can travel through time. New time zone unlocked. All right. New camera is so nice. It's not the new camera. It's the old camera. The lighting is also needs a little bit of work. If we're being real, it's a little blown out in the back, as you guys can see. But I wanted to get the HasnAbi gaming team in here working while I was out in Japan, and they worked tirelessly to put this together and make sure that we had a new setup. I've been wanting to make this switch for some time now because I wanted more room for activities behind me. And I think this is better overall for having guests on board as well. But yeah, blown out. Your back is blown out like I'm blowing your back out? No. All right. So, folks. Let me tell you something, okay? This is part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news about what's going on in the world of HasnAbi February between the time period where I press the stop streaming button and press the start streaming button. And a lot has happened, as you guys may or may not know. The camera needs to be stopped down by like 0.7 EV. I'm a photographer. Please trust. Aren't trust. Ow! Setup's going to take some time to get used to. I just hit a Homer Simpson. Dope! Anyway, folks. This is part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news about what's going on in the world of HasnAbi February between the time period where I press the stop streaming button and press the start streaming button. And here's what I need to tell you. Yesterday, I ended the broadcast. You already know that, okay? Ended the broadcast after 6 hours or whatever, half day, not a big deal. Basically quitting, quiet quitting, but also loudly quitting, at this point. What the hell is wrong with me? But part of the reason why I had to quit early after 6 hours was because I had to do stuff. I had to do stuff before I flew out. I had to go and get a new suitcase. The reason why I had to go and get a new suitcase is because even though I have a massive suitcase, like a ginormous suitcase, I needed a second one. What the fuck is that New York fit? This is my Tokyo fit. Mein suitcase. Yeah, exactly. I need to get a goon case for all the Goon Cave toys. But yeah, I'm gonna show you in a second what I have in that bag. I'm gonna bust it open.
How disappointed I was that not Austin, nor Will, nor Hasan tried to get my
onsen stream
pants off. Do you have any idea the offense I took to that? I was certain that there would be at least some effort to get me into an onsen.
No. Real trick is to pack your suitcase inside another empty suitcase and fly with them. Check one bag, fly out with two if you know you know. Yeah, I can't do that. I couldn't do that because I had already, it's 14-day travel, chatter. It's a 14-day travel situation. There was no world in which I could pack another suitcase into my existing suitcase because I already needed to. I bought so many clothes when I was there. I bought so much underwear while I was there. It was crazy. Oh, what's happening with the freaking focus? The autofocus is a little busted. But yeah. Lighting works in mysterious ways. You were dark in Japan, now you're light. Yeah. Can you do a clothing haul? No. Bro thinks it's Tarkov? A little bit. You have a lifetime, bro, got a lifetime supply of Family Mart undies? It's true. I did. I actually did. But yeah, I had to go and get a suitcase. And then I thought I could hang out with March and Wake and them a little bit. And March was like, dude, if you don't leave right now, you're cooked. Because it was like by 2 p.m. It was like 2 p.m. And I was still thinking like, my flight's at 4:30. I'll be fine. We can hang out. Because I didn't want to leave. And March was like, you are going to miss your flight. So I reluctantly left. I had 2 checked in luggage. I got another one right here. I bought this one, which basically is like big enough that it took 18 kilograms of clothes and stuff, but it's also small enough that it could be checked in luggage. I didn't check it in though. Because I didn't want to carry it around with me. So I put all my anime figurines and stuff in there. But after that, yeah, anime figurines and Tenga and all the stuff that I got from JCP. But basically, I got to the airport and I'll be honest with you, I got some thoughts for Japanese Air. I went with Japanese Airlines, okay? I flew in with all Nippon Air, and then I flew back with JAL, okay? ANA is what I flew in with, JAL is what I flew out with, and let me tell you, there's some good and there's some bad. Now, first of all, JAL actually has apparently a first class as well, and usually when they have a first class, usually the business class is like kind of, I mean, it's still great, still business class, but it's not as good normally. But I will say, ANA did not have a first class. It was just a business class. And JAL was literally better than ANA. Austin was telling me that ANA is the best one and JAL is the second best, or I think it was March who said that. But JAL was definitely a better experience overall. I'm going to give you very quickly what was so sick about it. 1, the little bags that they give you on airplanes, I don't like the little baggy shit that they give you. Some airliners still do it for economy, toiletries. Some don't do it anymore, like the amenity kits. And in business class, it's nicer, right? They give you like nicer shit, like a swag bag. I never take it because the hell am I supposed to do, right? JAL gave me this like puffy eye bag steam mask. I've never gotten that before on any flight. I thought that was awesome. Number 2, take it and save it for later. No, I've already. By the way, when I say I don't actually use it, that's a lie. Because one time it was like a Toomey bag. I forget which airliner gave it to me, and I still use that as my toiletries bag to this day because it's like perfectly sized. But I usually don't take it, but I do use the stuff that's in it. JAL gave you an iPhone charger, which was insane, and also a little like stand that you can put your iPhone on. And it's like so cheap technically, but there's so much utility to it. You know what I mean? Like, because normally the amenities kit is like silly shit, you know? Oh, like here's some makeup remover, or I don't know what they put in there. I don't even look at it. But they gave you like a USB charger for the iPhone, and they gave you a little plastic thing that is super cheap, but is super cheap, but it opens up and then you can place your iPhone on it, so it like, you know, so you can watch it. And I thought it was like such a, I mean, it was very thoughtful. You know what I mean? Because it's so convenient. It's so goddamn convenient when you think about it, and it's just, I thought it was great. The food was excellent on Japanese Airlines in comparison to ANA. ANA, not great. The food was not good at ANA at all. The food on JAL was good. At Haneda Airport, I got on the Haneda Airport, sweaty as heck. Okay, I get to Haneda Airport, and what kind of food they had? Oh, they had really good food. They had this thing where they had the tamago sandos and pork katsu sandos. So that's why I liked it a lot. Anyway, I get to Haneda. Haneda's a very nice airport, and I'm panicking. I have a lot of bags. I brought 3 technically checked in, like 3 luggage. Like I have my stream backpack. I have my regular sling bag that has the press tag on it. And then on top of that, I had the obviously the third bag was my remote desktop setup, right? And I have to bring that with me everywhere I go. I have to bring all of those things with me wherever I go. So I have 3 carry-ons and I have 2 checked in luggages. The first luggage I checked in, 36 kilograms. Now, normally, especially when you're flying business, they don't really stress that sort of thing, because you're allowed to fucking check in 3 different pieces of luggage if you want to. But apparently, it's 32. 32 is the limit. And for that reason, 32 is the limit for JAL. So for that reason, they were like, oh yeah, either you can go down the corner, buy a new piece of luggage, put all of your stuff in this luggage, okay, so that you can get it to 32 kilograms, or you just need to pay extra, okay? And to be fair, it's a 2-week trip, so yes, I obviously had a lot of shit. But normally they don't really care, because, you know, you get 3 pieces of luggage all up to 32 kilograms, which is 70 pounds, right? So, or 80 pounds. So I'm thinking it should be fine. It's not fine. They charged my ass 60,000 yen for the convenience. 60,000 yen. Now, in the past, as a very penny pinching traveler, no, it's $400, Chad. It's not $5. Yeah, try 400 American. That's insane. Okay, that is a highway robbery. They literally robbed me at gunpoint. Normally, I would have just went and bought a $400 piece of luggage at that point. You know what I mean? Just go buy $400, like a very nice backpack for $400. Then you can put the fucking the all of your equipment in it. No wonder they gave you an iPhone charger. No, it's a major scam. It's a major fucking scam. Major. Yeah, you can get it like a fucking Remova for $400. Okay, and they cooked me because I didn't have time. I did not have enough time to literally go buy another bag and then dump out my fucking big ass 36 kilogram bag, which is like 80 plus pounds, almost 90 pounds at that point. 80-pound bag, and then move stuff around. So basically they were like, yeah, either this or you don't get on the plane. I mean, you had 2 weeks. Yeah, but I didn't weigh my luggage. That's a ticket. Like, that's a flight. That's a different flight. I could have gotten a different flight at that point. You know what I mean? And it's highway robbery. And I was thinking in my mind, weigh your shit, bro. How am I supposed to weigh my shit? I'm in a hotel. Like, there's no weighing your shit in a hotel. But basically, buy a scale. Yeah, I'm not going to buy a scale. No, I did not have a bathroom scale, I don't think. Or maybe I did, but I wasn't aware of it. could have bought a seat for that suitcase. I know. I love that. Look, my point of the story is this is yet another way in which wealth dramatically improves your life and also makes you out of touch with the common folk in general. Okay? At least from my experience, because I've been in that situation before in the past, and I've had to do crazy shit. I've had to beg, cry, get on my hands and knees and say, please, can you let this slide? And in this instance, I was like, I'm cooked. Fuck it. We ball. So I dropped the fucking 4 bills on that shit. A punishment. Oh, wait. I think Kai is here. Hold on. Oh, my God. Oh, shit. She is here. Oh, shit. Okay. Hold on. Hold on, everybody. The big lady's here. One second. There she is. The little lady. Give her more pets, please. Okay, calm down. All right, where was I? Get your big ass out of the way. Everybody needs to calm down. Everybody needs to calm down. Okay? There is no Kai cam, and I'm not going to get out of the way. You guys are being annoying. Wait, let me see what these other cameras look like, actually. You got this one. Oh, wow. The lighting is a little bit better on this one. This is like a impromptu de facto Kai cam. And then this is the wide one. Please set the clock. Okay. Get her bed where your suitcase is right now. No, there's I want to utilize the space. Okay. Honestly, the alt angles are better lit than the main one. That would make all the difference. Yeah, this does look better. But yeah, where was I? Look at her again. I missed her so much. Is it possible to adjust the brightness on the HasnAbi lamp? Yeah. Anyway, we're not gonna do that right now. Where was I with my story? Getting back to my story, even though this is blown out. How are you not jet lagged? I'm a goddamn G. I'm a goddamn legend. I'm a freaking legend, dude. That's what it is. So where was I? Where was I? Did you try Choco Banana? No. Did you bring a Dragon Ball back? Oh yeah, I got scammed out of $400. So that was a big L for Jal, and it made me want to not. It made me want to not actually fly with them. That experience, but then they sucked me back in. Even though I will say this, the business class obviously is lie flat, but I didn't get to sleep too much because unfortunately both Anna and Jal, all Nippon Air and JAL itself, Japanese Airlines, are built for much smaller people. So even if it's like a lie flat, I can't technically lie flat. Not gonna lie, you got scammed with the fruit too. Yeah. I will never fly again. This current crisis has clenched it for me. What I explained to you. But yeah, then I got back to the land of the free, home of the brave. And let me tell you, okay? Let me tell you something. Not good. Not good at all. Okay. I finally come back, and instantly, one of the things that you experience when you come back to America, especially after coming back from Japan, the land of public transit and where things just work, you know, you didn't get scammed. JAL tried to accommodate baggage that is beyond international regulations to protect the baggage handler health and safety. Fair. Did you fly the room on Anna on the way there? The seat config is slightly different. No. Especially when you come to Los Angeles Airport, LAX, after Haneda, you're like, are we on the same planet? Like, is this the same universe? It feels like you just came back to Earth after encountering an alien species. Okay? When you come back to LAX, it is objectively one of the worst airports on the planet. Going from Haneda to Tom Bradley International. Okay? Going from Haneda to Tom Bradley International is, I assume, what it's like when you reach like an uncontacted tribe and you're like, wow. But actually that's not true, because an uncontacted tribe still is more harmonious in their peaceful coexistence with nature than LAX is in general. LAX, specifically Tom Bradley International, is all bad, no good. Okay? It's so fucking bad. It blows my mind how bad it is. It blows my mind. What is so great about Haneda? It's kind of bare. That's what's so great about it. I've had long conversations with my brother, Mr. Airplanes, about this issue time and time again. I don't care about like how cool an airport looks, which LAX doesn't look cool anyway. Who's this? She's already being bad. She just got back from school and she's already trying to get up. Like I don't care about how bare an airport is. I'm trying to spend the minimal amount of time inside of an airport, okay? I am trying to spend as little amount of time as possible when I'm inside of an airport. As long as it's clean and as long as you're just in and out, clean and efficient, I'm good. Okay? LAX, not clean, not efficient, just awful. Just awful in general. You get out, there are thousands of people trying to get into the country. So there's TSA global entry, right? Which I now officially am going to have, I think, finally, after they took like years and years of processing me for some reason. I did do that afterwards. But basically, there's TSA pre-check global entry on one side. And then on the other side, it's residents, green card holders, and American citizens. There are thousands of American citizens that are trying to enter the country. Do you want to know how many people were working the Customs and Border Patrol, processing entries into the country? 3. 1 for global entry, 2 for everybody else. 3. It's like, it's mind-boggling to me how it is mind-boggling to me how much of the issues that we experience as consumers, as travelers, in every aspect of our lives, okay? How much of the quote-unquote problem could be solved if they just hired more people? If you're not going to do e-gates, just hire more people. Hire more Customs and Border Patrol officers. Like literally, this is the one job that they're supposed to be doing. Making sure that you're not bringing in agricultural product that is harmful to the ecosystem in America. And, you know, I guess drug trafficking or whatever. Like that's the thing that they're supposed to do, is process people into the country in an in a fast manner, expedient manner. That's the job. That's your job as a CBP guy. And even on that front, they're like, nah, dog, we're too busy. Expeditiously. Even in that regard, we're like, nah, we have ICE agents that are supposed to be locking up Guatemalan aunties out here. So there's just not enough time. There's not enough bandwidth to process people coming in. What? Wait a minute. I'm confused. You were trying to say earlier that if you're poor and can't pay those 400s, you can get away with it. Oh, when I was broke and they would try to hit me with like a bag situation like that. Yeah, I'd try to talk my way out of it. Sometimes they let you slide. I travel internationally every often, in and out of the U.S. and getting through the U.S. Customs is the worst part of my travel. Not having a green card is definitely not making it easier. Don't you have electronic entry for U.S. citizens? No. Anyway, the point is, most things that suck because they just don't hire enough people. So that was step 1. That was annoying. Step 2, I get to the global entry interview, right? Because it's been ready for some time now. And the gate guy was like, oh, you have your interview set up. Like, you can go do it right now downstairs. So I was like, you know what? If there's no line, I'm going to do it. There's no line. The fucking computer was not working. Like, everything sucks. Everything is broken. Everything is broken beyond repair everywhere in this goddamn country. And just like when you combine all of those little things, you're like, oh, we are so fucking washed, dog. We are washed, okay? The United States of America is officially washed. Anytime you feel like you're being screwed over, in most circumstances, it is a direct consequence of not actually hiring enough people. Oh, your luggage didn't arrive on time? They didn't hire enough luggage handlers. Okay, that's it. It's literally that simple. They're overworking the luggage handlers that are working, and they didn't hire enough, knowing full well that there was going to be, additional need for additional hands. anytime you have issues with like any kind of service that you're receiving, it is a direct consequence of being it is a direct consequence of underpaying, hiring not enough people, and overworking the people that you have hired. It's absolute garbage. Did you compare this to the Japanese airport experience? Yeah, the Japanese airport experience is like everything works, everything is fast. Kaya, place. Get back there. What is this? Don't worry, Elon and Doge is going to fix all this, though. Yeah, he just needs access to all of our finances. Hate my DMV workers when they're underwired. People hate DMV workers when they're underwired. Can you tell us about the questions you were asked? Yeah, they asked me about my DUI from fucking 2014 when I got arrested for a DUI, and I was like, I only got arrested. I never got prosecuted. And it's like weird because in the system it still shows as like a misdemeanor, which is weird because I never was charged. I never even was prosecuted. I was just arrested for it. But it doesn't matter. It was 11 years ago anyway. So I think it's like you can have one misdemeanor on your record, and you can have one misdemeanor on your record. It shows everything. But basically, I think, yeah, you can have one misdemeanor on a record if it's and if it's outside of the 5-year scope, it doesn't matter. But you can have one misdemeanor on your record in the last 5 years, and that you can still get it. But apparently, you can use your global entry. You can lose your global entry for like really silly reasons. Like you can lose your global entry if you brought in food from the airplane into the country, and you had like an annoying what? Explain DUI stories so you don't clip, chimp. What do you mean? I've explained it a million times over. Did you actually drive drunk? No. That's the reason why I didn't get prosecuted. I actually was under the legal limit, but I got an annoying fucking cop who just like made me blow on the thing numerous times so he could arrest me for it. But I actually didn't get prosecuted for it because the blood work showed that I was under the legal limit. And weren't you just sleeping in your car? No, that's a different story. I've gotten ticketed for sleeping in my car before. Really annoying, but that's a separate story. You have to be really blatant about sneaking stuff in to lose it, but food and shit is highly unlikely. No. I mean, basically, if it was if you had like an annoying border guard or whatever, they can actually come in and just be like, "What do you have in your bag?" Oh, you have food in your bag. You have produce in your bag or whatever. Like you're cooked. Anyway, so you sobered up by the time blood work happened. My drunk uncle did that too, lol. I like that you don't even know the story, but that's your perspective. No, dumbass. That's not what happened. It's literally, I wasn't driving inebriated. The last time I had, oh my God, why am I talking about this? This is going to make it into the next content nuke. Things that I've explained a million times over. My personal experiences that I've voluntarily revealed about myself, that people act as though they are, massive revelations. It's like hiding shit away from customs chat is dumb, but it makes sense where they're invasive bugs that asexually reproduce and destroy the environment. Yeah. So, aside from all of that, I came home, and of course, I was faced with a litany of problems. Now, I come home, I say hi to my mom. Internet's not working. I get into the studio. I try to turn on the PC. There's no power. Turns out everything is broken. Literally everything. And it was working yesterday. And I know it was working yesterday because the HasnAbi gaming team was in here switching this stuff around for the past week. Right? It's not Marat. As much as I like to blame Marat, it's not Marat. Okay? It's because of the rain. I have like a water surge protector thing that at the mere sight of moisture automatically shuts off a big chunk of my power grid. And a lot of the stuff is rigged. A lot of the electricity grid in this room is directly connected to that, including my server room, all the stuff, right? So it's very, yeah, it's a wet switch. It's very dumb. It's very dumb. But yeah. So I had to dig deep and basically go through the 3 tons of industrial equipment that Murat has in my garage to go into the little cubby that is my server room and fix this process and jerry rig it with an extension cord and make sure that my generators were powered up enough. And then I'm going to swap it back out. That's what I was doing. I got off the plane and instantly I'm in the server room trying to fix this. And basically, here we are. I did do it. Quality looks so good. It looks like you're in front of a green screen. Nice. They're going to say industrial equipment is Hamas weapons. Yeah. I wonder what the rest of your house looks like because this room is crazy. I can't believe you got home today, came to home to that, and didn't take it as a sign to take the day off. Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? Anyway. How many times did you go to 7-Eleven? A lot. Your power grid in LA is so bad you need a generator? Yeah, I have a generator. I have multiple generators. But yeah. That's it. Why'd you change the camera angle? Freaking me out a little bit. I wanted to use the space that I have in this room a little bit better. I wanted to maximize the space. The bit rate is worse than before. Yeah. Anyway, that's where we're at. That's what's happening. That's what's going on. And did your mom compliment her new brows? She didn't even notice my new brows. So I guess maybe it wasn't that crazy. I think the camera was a bit further down. It would look even better. No, that's the separate camera. All right. So that's it. We're going to get to the news. But those are the stories that I had for you in terms of personal news. Weather's ass, 3 guys manning the border processing thousands. Bridge connecting the terminal broke. We are so washed. The Macias, thank you for the playlist. The brows aren't that bad. You definitely overreacted. Yeah, I think they're growing back, so it's fine. The brows are growing back. The beard is growing back. It's good. We fixed it. Does being on the right side of the camera frame symbolize your right wing pivot? Yes. AI brows on fleek. Yeah, welcome back home. It's good to be back home. We got a lot of news to cover, obviously. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the world, and I'm back in the chaos. I was talking to Connor. This morning, and he's like, it's kind of funny to me that like you have basically escaped the country since Donald Trump got inaugurated. And he's right. I did do that. I straight up escaped. Wait, Mini F. I straight up escaped the country almost instantly after Donald Trump's inauguration. And I haven't looked back since. Like, this is my first moment in the United States of America. This is my first moment in the U.S. Since Donald Trump. Since Donald Trump's inauguration, basically. And let me tell you, things are not great. Are we gonna get one more IG photo dump? Probably not. I didn't take a lot of photos. But it was definitely a great time overall. I loved hanging out with friends. I loved, you know, doing all the stuff that I did. I loved the fact that I'm able to just like do my regular streams, which is important for me that I keep it up, right? But then also simultaneously, you were taking 60 photos per second, like 50% of your time there. True. But no, I didn't take any, like, I didn't get flicked up. But basically, it's always good. It's always good to be able to do my regular stream and then also go out and unwind and do fun shit. And you know, be able to share that experience with you guys as well. And yeah, it was awesome. Are you going to consider starting later or back to the regular time? No, regular time. I was supposed to start at 11. If it wasn't for the technical issues, I would have started at 11 this morning. Thailand stream next time with Rainbow collab stream at a night market in Bangkok. I would love to do that. Also, I would love to... Marsh found your gift. Oh. I left him a goodie bag.
Probably. Hasan in the lobby earlier today, and he's like,
Is he still here?
He's like, I sent you. No, he went home.
Oh, okay.
But he's like, I sent you a care package. I
Aw.
haven't sent it to your room. I think it's
Cutesy.
just his trash.
Oh.
It's not. Wait, what? There's literally unopened shit in there. I got him painkillers, protein shake because he needs his sustenance. Okay, he's a growing boy. I got face masks, multiple face masks. I got him. He said my trash painkillers, not painkillers, like ibuprofen. Ibuprofen. Tenga chocolate.
It's a pig. Why do you
Love
get a
that.
pig? And there's like some bath.
And then
salts.
bath
Oh, it
bombs.
is because this is definitely for his dog.
For his dog?
Yeah, it's literally a dog toy.
No, that was definitely, I just put that in as a meme. Yeah, that's trash. Dude, what are you talking about? Bath bombs and multiple face masks, protein shake, Advil, like Japanese Advil. What is happening? Bath bombs? Be for real right now, bro? Wait, what do you mean? There's a bathtub in the room. I used it. I was in the bathtub. Rest and recovery is very important. Did you consider Emperor Hirohito watching over your samurai training a blessing or a curse? Well, considering that he was in the room with us, but I didn't realize until after the fact, I think it was a curse. Regardless of my recognition, I ended up failing spectacularly on the tatame mats in a way that I had not prior, because this is not my first time doing Bushido, following the way of the sword, the code of samurai. This is actually my second time, but one might even say, Hasan, you have never stopped following the code of samurai. And I suspect it was because of Emperor Hirohito's presence in the room that made it so that I wasn't as good as I was last time around. Yeah. Sensei was disappointed. Sensei is a little bit of a right-wing nationalist, it seems, by the way. I mean, he was really, really skilled. But yeah. Room redecorated? No. Room is not redecorated. Room is the same. It's just we moved stuff around. You ruined the floor last time. The twerk stream was the best stream I've seen in my life, and I watched it 3 times. Wait, really? You guys liked it? More IRL streams with the new backpack? Do you think the spirit of Hitler being in the room with you while learning to play polka accordion was a gift or a curse? What a strange question. No, I agree. To be fair, I had no idea. And we found out after the fact. You normally don't suspect someone in Japan of being like an active supporter. It's from what I understand, it's like not very commonplace, because I asked around a little bit afterwards. I was like, is that normal? Is that normal to have? And they were like, no, it's not. Like even conservatives don't actually have that. I think they lied to you. I'm not gonna lie. No, the people I was talking to. Is normal for the type of people who talk about having samurai ancestry in 2025. I mean, that kind of sucks, because I think like preserving the ancient arts and the traditions of sword fighting is not a bad thing necessarily. There's importance there, I think, regardless of what it may have been used for. The Toyota technique, which is what we learned that the Imperial Army used, by the way. It was literally the Imperial Army sword fighting techniques that we learned, which our sensei had explained to us, which I already thought was kind of strange from the jump. That gave me my first clue that maybe this was interesting. But I think there is something... there is definitely something important about preserving those things. Like I don't have an issue with that at all, as long as, you know, you're not hyping it up or celebrating it. But yeah. So you basically went to a Civil War reenactment enthusiast? Yeah, except the Civil War reenactment enthusiast had actually had lineage directly going back to the generals that were, you know, teaching the techniques of how the South fought in the Civil War. So it's like even worse than that. You know what I mean? Yeah, he was like, this is the best way to slay Chinese peasants. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even blast off yet. What the hell? I forgot. I haven't even blasted off yet, and it's been an hour. All right. I'm back. Okay. All right. Shinto and samurai was used like Nazis used runes. My husband studied Hokushin Itoryu under a master swordsman in Japan and taught the top generals of defense force in Japan. Yeah, I'm canceled. I'm a right winger now. I'm back in the DEI free zone, and things are worse than ever. Judge blocks Trump's federal buyout plan. Gaza ownership. Trump's final solution on Gaza and more. Get in now. Right wing pivots so hard. You're going to poker night tonight? What's poker night? No, I'm not doing that. Can you actually do something? I'm bored. Hasan, why did you buy a house if you're a socialist? Why did you buy a house? Can you actually do something? I'm bored. Will you cover the impeachment that was filed? No. Okay. All right. New Hope Core edit. End of the podcast. Oh yeah, I watched this already. I liked it. I reposted it. Hold on 1 second. Let me blast off. I like the new setup. Thanks. This camera angle is a lot better, even though it's like a weird angle than the main camera that I use. So I got to fix the main camera that I use right now, but I don't know how to use it. So let's blast off. Maybe I'll try to fix it. Reform chatter. What is this? I know there's been a lot of drama surrounding you recently, but I just want to say thank you for your content. I used to be very much right-wing libertarian in my early high school years, but after learning more about U.S. history and especially after discovering your content, I've definitely become more of a democratic socialist thanks to your content. So genuinely thank you for your content. It helped bring me out of the right-wing rabbit hole. Hey, hell yeah, that's awesome. Okay, Godzilla fan. All right. Anyway, that's it. That's the blast off. We blast an obbied. Get in now. I need to fix the autofocus on this camera too. Like the autofocus is busted on the camera. The lighting is busted on the camera. There's a lot that's wrong with the main camera that I use, so I have to fix all of that. Another one of my victims. Yeah. Don't tell that guy that I'm a radical. Hey, genuine question. Why do you have cola in your fridge when you boycott Israel? They've literally been in my fridge since before the boycott, and I have just not touched them since then. And I'm too lazy to take it out and toss them out. But yeah. They're dusty. I have not drank a Diet Coke since the BDS. I think I might have had one. Like literally. Same Aldi brand Coke is better to me now. No, it's not. I just don't drink. I've been drinking Pepsi. Stop performative lip shit. I don't think BDS is performative lip shit at all. I'm a Dr. Pepper head anyway, so it doesn't hurt me that much. You should drink them on stream, really rile up people. Yeah. You should look into HEMA. It's like a historical European fencing, longsword mostly, but also rapier, sword, and buckler, etc. It's a lot of fun. It is performative. BDS is not performative. It is exactly how boycotts are supposed to be tailored and designed. Very limited in its scope and very targeted and very directed. BDS has also secured some victories already. So I don't think it's bad at all. Stop lying. Literally years ago, someone asked if you drink Diet Dr. Pepper and you said, no, I don't drink that garbage. Yes, I didn't used to drink Dr. Pepper. I do now. Yeah, if BDS was so performative, it wouldn't be illegal in like 35 American states, okay? Trust me. Nothing that is like performative lip shit is ever going to get illegalized, all right? All right. Here, I'll start off with the Hope Core. At the end of the podcast, I was so fucking gracious to him. Far more gracious than he goddamn deserves. Like, literally. Okay, this Hope Core is not normal Hope Core. It's just
Ends
me
the podcast
ranting.
because he can't fucking cut it. Like, he's like, I don't want to talk about politics anymore because people are hurting my feelings when I talk about Israel. It's like his whole shtick for the past year has been saying liberal Zionist talking points and then getting mad at everyone when they go, are you a Zionist? And he's like, whoa, this is anti-Semitism. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. What kind of fucking moronic attitude is this? Just don't talk about politics. Just go back to fucking talking about like gooning or Justin Baldoni or whatever fucking new thing is happening online. You're clearly not intellectually equipped enough. I'm sorry. You got a child's brain. Go enjoy childish things. The fuck is wrong with you?
It's just rant core. Anyway. Yeah, I saw the golden pager gift thing, which is really annoying and gross. Netanyahu gifted Trump with a gaudy golden pager mount on a slice on a felled ancient olive tree. The settler colonial psyche is a cesspit. Doge staffer resigns because he was outed as a Nazi. A staffer for Elon Musk's Department of Governmental Efficiency whose access to U.S. Treasury payment system was approved by a federal judge on Thursday has links to a deleted social media account that advocated for racism and eugenics. They want to cut NOAA's staff by 50%, even though the National Weather Service has been understaffed for a while now. Dude, cutting NOAA is the dumbest thing you can do. What the hell is happening? Every single weather service utilizes NOAA. Every single weather service uses this. Oh my God, we are cutting off our face to spite our noses. We're cutting off our nose to spite our faces. Oh my God, there is no decipherable reason. Oh my God, especially at a time where climate change is getting rapidly worse. Oh my God, what are we doing? This is literally the vaccine vaccine strategy, basically. If you don't know that the weather is getting worse, if you're completely unaware of the devastating consequences of anthropogenic climate change, specifically insane weather events that are supposed to be once in a lifetime happening with like a monthly frequency, as long as you just don't know about it, then it might as well be not real. NOAA is a crazy thing to go after. NOAA is one of those aspects of the federal government that I talk about and hype quite a bit, which is the invisible ways in which the actual government and the military save people's lives, okay? It is incredibly important. What the hell? Hogs thinking USAID was giving money to Jeffrey Epstein. There's so much fake shit going on the USAID stuff too. I do think, I mean, I've complained about this quite a bit, but I do think that especially now, there is a major issue. There is a major problem with just disinformation. Donald Trump tweeted a bunch of stuff recently, or truthed a bunch of stuff recently, that were just all wrong, just completely wrong. Virtually everything that they talk about, virtually everything that comes out of like the official government organs in terms of like where spending is or what's happening, well, like where is USAID money going to or whatever, almost all of it is wrong. And it's actually shocking. And I say this as someone who is critical of USAID, okay? As someone who has been very critical of USAID and has routinely, talked about the real ways in which the USAID, in very nefarious ways, USAID operates, okay? And things that used to be just, incorrect information being spread around in email chains are now coming from they're coming from the federal agencies, which is terrifying. He also tweeted heinous shit too. Yeah, this is the other part of the story that I'm going to get to in a second. Do you think Marjorie Taylor Greene said the Jews control the weather because Noah is a Jewish name? That's really funny. Maybe that's the reason. What's happening in the Capitol? Don't read the comments. Okay, well, I have to see the comments. Okay, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to. It's going to piss me off. Isn't USA just another tool for empire control over governments in the name of aids and grants? Stopping it is against imperialistic essence of the USA. Yeah, it is, which is why it's weird that the Trump administration is trying to do that. USAID is one of these agencies that simultaneously does help and boost American soft power capabilities, and also is utilized in aiding and abetting the CIA time and time again. And so there's some good. There's a lot of good. Then there's a lot of bad. Okay. Some of the good is done openly in order to boost American profile. And some of the good is done to justify and legitimize the evil that USAID contributes to. Ultimately, though, when a guy like USAID, I don't think, right? That's grooming. The funniest part is these, you know, here's what I think. I don't think the federal government has to go through USAID to offer funding to Politico. Okay? That's not how manufacturing consent works. You don't actually buy those favors. You actually get people into those top positions by offering access to people that report favorably on your actions. Okay? US aid was 44K, 8 mil for the entirety of the government. Minute by minute updates by a subscription package for like 10K per. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, here, Dropsite also offered this some coverage as well. If we're going to talk about like USAID funding and all the misinformation swirling around.
Every day we are reaching previously unseen levels of duplicity and stupidity, particularly on this website owned by Elon Musk. Let's take this one for a second. So now the MAGA populists think that they have uncovered a new scandal because they say that Politico is actually funded by USAID to the tune of $8.1 million. Now, if you look closer at the numbers that they've pulled out of this database, in fact, that $8.1 million, that's across the government. That's to lots of different subscriptions. It doesn't even have anything to do with USAID and Politico. But if you dig even deeper, what they found is that Politico, over several years, has gotten $44,000 from USAID for subscriptions. Now, Politico runs a product called Politico Pro, which can cost as much as $10,000 a year. Politico is not the only one that does.
Yeah, there's a lot of they got Huberman. Oh my God, I'm shocked that another one of these guys that Hawk's product was stupid enough to be duped by the likes of Ian Miles Chong. Okay, wow. I thought that guy was a brilliant neurosurgeon. What happened? Or a neuroscientist, PhD or whatever. Bro, I swear to God, when you got podcast brain, when you have podcast brain, it just like, you're bricked. You're bricked, no matter what, okay? There's just something to podcast brain. No matter how intelligent you might have been at some point, when you get into like the right-wing adjacent podcast game, something in your brain just stops working. Something in your brain just stops functioning.
A product like this, Bloomberg.
I'm confused though. Why is Politico Pro $10,000 per year? It's like a Bloomberg terminal. Do you know what a Bloomberg terminal is? Like, especially corporate accounts for things like that are even more expensive than individuals. But this is like the type of service that offers like real-time, immediate news. It's like news stations use it, okay? It's a B2B service. A Bloomberg terminal is giving you real-time data on the stock market. They are incredibly expensive. Bloomberg terminals are used for trading. Politico Pro is a service similar to that, okay? It's a computer software system provided by the financial data vendor Bloomberg LP that enables professionals in the financial service sector and other industries to access Bloomberg professional services through which users can monitor and analyze real-time financial market data and place trades on the electronic trading platform. Bloomberg Pro is a newswire service, not Bloomberg Pro, sorry. Politico Pro is a newswire service that is similar to a Bloomberg terminal. Still doesn't explain why USAID funded it. They didn't fund it. They purchased it for the people that work at USAID. Because if you work at USAID, you need access. It's akin to working at one of the aspects of the it's akin to having Bloomberg terminals at the SEC. Okay, it's akin to the SEC purchasing Bloomberg terminals. Do you understand? Yeah, it's like saying they funded Microsoft because they bought Excel. They're buying a product. They're buying a service. Like there is plenty of silly shit that USAID and the federal government, I'm sure, has spent money on, especially because one of the worst aspects of the private-public partnership is the unimaginably expensive ways in which the federal government basically subsidizes companies that lobby for these contracts. So normally, if you were to purchase, I don't know, K-Cups, right, at the market, or if you were even a business that had a subscription to the Nespresso K-Cups or Keurig cups or whatever, the price varies. If you're purchasing it as a singular consumer at the market, at the grocery store, it's infinitely cheaper than oftentimes like a business subscription that you might have, because B2B services are more expensive because businesses can pay for it, so they're farming more money. The government is on steroids when it comes to that. So there's a lot of inefficiencies in that regard. And the government is the worst one because they have a lot of money, they have a lot of wealth, and companies absolutely know that and therefore charge incredibly high prices because they know the government's going to pay for it. And they even lobby to make sure, or they network to make sure that they continue getting those contracts. Having said that, however, in terms of like the Bloomberg Pro structure, the Politico Pro structure, like that makes sense. That makes sense because, this is a newswire service that government employees are utilizing.
Some others do. I think this is a pretty corrupt way to run journalism because the people that can pay that aren't mostly government. That's a tiny drop in the bucket.
Bro, what's happening right now? Asmongold is spreading propaganda about MLK, calling him a disgusting commie. MLK was a commie. Wouldn't say he was disgusting, but he certainly was a commie. Don't know why Asmongold would have an issue with that, though. He's like, just found out about this MLK guy. Turns out it's more than... Turns out he wasn't saying, I have a dream where, black people and white people can get along. He was saying a lot more than that.
Mostly corporation.
Yeah, he wasn't a commie. He was a democratic socialist, but whatever. It's a fucking commie is a catch-all terminology. I don't care. This is the thing that I try to respond to people with whenever they're like, Hasan, are you a communist? People are saying you're a communist. And you're like, why don't you care to make this distinction? Like, it's because I don't care. I don't care. I don't think that it's... people say Nancy Pelosi is a communist, okay? Everyone is a communist as long as they are, like, a little bit center left on certain issues in the eyes of the broader American society. I'm pretty sure that commenter was wrong and Asmon read a chatter saying that. Be careful. Yeah. I don't think Asmongold will be anti-MLK, at least not yet. That's like Charlie Kirk level. All right, let's continue with this. I'm having a hard time finishing
lobbyists, weapons makers, pharmaceutical companies, the kinds of people that you don't really want to be.
Li Fong actually had a really good take on this, by the way. I can't believe I keep pausing this video as soon as I start it, but what's really interesting about the way that the way that people yell, what's really interesting about the way that people yell, hold on, about this sort of thing, about like all of this money, where is it going, right? Like, oh, they're spending the money so unwisely, blah, blah, blah. Do you know how much graft occurs in the private sector? This isn't a defense of the public sector at all, okay? This is not a defense of the public sector and the gross misuse of funds or whatever. But as Felix also pointed out, using this as a jump-off point, the Wall Street Journal documented over $50 billion in Medicare Advantage fraud. Insurers systematically diagnosing fake diseases in patients so they can overbill the government. That is a million times worse than all the silly-sounding grants that go viral here, okay? There is such an unbelievable amount of graft, gouging, collusion, and outright fraud like this in the American healthcare system, and none of it has any salience in our politics. There are just far too many people that are involved, and they're too integral to both parties. One of the most discouraging signs of this was seeing Madoff-level fraudster like Rick Scott become a prolific national figure. He doesn't even have anything else going for him. He looks like the fucking magician from that criminally boring Game of Thrones Season 2 Dany storyline. Like, Rick Scott, former governor of the state of Florida, and also, is he congressperson from the state of Florida now, and also a formative figure in the Republican Party, literally is a award-winning, record-breaking, prolific fraudster, okay? He defrauded the federal government funds for Medicare, and I think, or was it Medicare or Medicaid, to the tune of billions of dollars. And there were no repercussions, no penalties for it whatsoever. Okay? Like, that is the real shit. That's what I mean when I say there is a public-private partnership here that the American corporations use and abuse, and the government absolutely allows it to happen, and it doesn't matter at all. But hey, keep paying attention to, I don't know, some National Institute of Health grant that went to a medical research that you don't understand and you think is silly and stupid, and therefore you should have a say in having those grants removed. Okay?
Be the ones that are funding journalism, because then the journalism becomes captured by that money. That is not the scandal they think they found. They think they discovered that USAID is the one funding Politico. That's wrong. But the funniest thing is, wait until they find out who funds Elon Musk. Elon Musk's main funder is the federal government.
Yeah, for everything. Every single industry that Elon Musk is involved in, okay? Every single industry that Elon Musk is involved in is funded and subsidized by the federal government. Tesla was kept afloat for years with the credit, the green credit swap scheme that the government created. It was subsidized by a lot of the renewable energy subsidies that existed for electric vehicles. SpaceX would not exist without NASA or additional government funding. It's another instance of the private-public partnership that exists. Elon Musk has been bailed out a million times over. Okay? As far as Starlink, that's another aspect of U.S. aid. Okay? U.S. aid directly funds Starlink. The Defense Department directly funds Starlink. How the fuck does Starlink reach the hands of Ukrainians? That's it. And it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating that people simply don't want to recognize that at all. So that's one of the other annoying parts about this, is that like Elon is supposedly this butcher that is like making the government more efficient. Meanwhile, he's directly getting funded by the federal government and also being investigated by the federal government at the same time.
So if being funded by the federal government makes Politico corrupt, when they're not actually funded by the federal government? What do they think of Elon Musk being funded by the federal government? And whatever he's getting now from the feds, he's going to be getting many times more than that over the coming years because of suckers like this guy.
Jesus Christ, that got loud. Yeah. The U.S. government gave the New York Times tens of millions of dollars over just the past 5 years, despite paying relatively little money to the New York Times. In the years preceding 2021, for instance, in August 2024, the U.S. government awarded $4.1 million to the New York Times. The bulk of these funds came from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, followed by the National Science Foundation. The query the original poster ran is not limited to the recipient being the New York Times, nor is it limited to the past 5 years. It's actually New York. He key searched New York. Okay? And then claimed it was the New York Times. What a spectacular moment in history. We laugh about how stupid these people are. Okay? You fell for an internet hoax and now you're angry over it. Explain why Chelsea Clinton received $83 million from U.S. aid. Chelsea Clinton did not receive any money from U.S. aid. The thing is, it doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. Okay? You can actively lie, deliberately lie, and it does not matter as long as it suits your ideological purpose. You can just lie and lie and lie, and not a single person will go, hey, I keep getting duped by this person, because nobody cares about the truth. And if nobody cares about the truth, nobody cares when they're getting duped. As long as it serves their purpose, as long as it serves their ideological purpose of humiliating their interlocutors, their ideological opponents, owning the libs, if you will. Okay? That's it. That's where we're at now. That is where we are at now. Nothing else. Any chance the CIA will do this, do its first good deed ever by exposing Musk for the fraud he is in retaliation? I don't think so, but we'll see. Probably not. I'm not holding my breath on that one. Yeah, there was a tweet that was claiming that AOC is worth $30 million. It's not the case at all. And as a public servant, her, salary and her earnings are out there for people to figure out on their own if they choose to do so. And no, they don't have that. She doesn't have smoke like that. Okay? She doesn't have motion like that. Y'all are ridiculous. Because of the U.S. funding freeze, the entire global ecosystem of China nonprofits is facing an extinction event. I'm not exaggerating for clicks. This is literally what's happening. In many cases, these orgs provide our last window into what is actually happening in China. They do the painstaking, risky work of tracking Chinese censorship, tallying local protests, uncovering rights violations, and documenting the Uyghur genocide. The research and other work done by these nonprofits is invaluable. It largely isn't replicated by think tanks, universities, private firms, or journalists. If it disappears, nothing will replace it, and Beijing's work to crush it will be complete. The U.S. spending freeze has revealed how dependent these organizations are on a single government for their survival, and by extension, how fragile our sources of information of China really are. She doesn't take money from lobbyists, so she ain't got too much since she does it legit, not a piece of shit like the rest of them. Amen, brother. Yeah. You're totally making things up. I'm not even worth $1 million, nor even $500K. I don't even own a house. I'm one of the lowest net worth members of Congress, trade no stock, and take no outside income. My filings are public. I loathe corruption, and your lying is disgusting. It doesn't matter, though. Okay? Look at this. Breaking. Trump called for an investigation to find out who in the government has been getting kickbacks from USAID. For instance, AOC has been in Congress for 6 years. She makes $174,000 a year. She's worth $30 million. The only way that happens is kickbacks. Wife and mom, politically conservative, MAGA Trump 2024, now more than ever. Hashtag America First, hashtag MAGA. Just a lie. 113,000 likes. $16 million views on this. You could just make up anything about anyone nowadays, and people should be like, all right, I believe it. Does this suit my agenda? Does this make me feel like I have a sense of community if I go along with it? Is this destroying my ideological opponents that I have been positioned and primed into hating? then I'm on board. I don't care. No one is going to fucking look into it. Okay? As a matter of fact, it's bad to look into it. Do not look into it. That's the attitude that people have here. Okay? That is the process now. That is the modus operandi. It's gotten so much worse because of Twitter. I cannot state this enough. It is so much worse. These things used to be relegated to email chains that your grandparents were sending to one another. And now it's everywhere. It's completely escaped containment. The U.S. must immediately grant emergency waivers to China-focused nonprofits. The U.S. is not able to do this. Governments around the world that value democracy, human rights, and truth must step in and find a way to restore funding to these organizations. I mean, I suspect that, is this one of the think tanks that gets U.S. aid grants? Like, she's literally just tweeting because she's tweeting about this because, like, she's getting her funding cut. Now, another example of this can also be seen. Another example of this can also be seen in the way people treat even like online drama and shit too, like the minutia. Like, people regularly would be like, "Your dad is a billionaire. Your dad is a billionaire," about me, and then they'll point to like some AI made article. He's not. I take care of my family, including my dad, and I'm very proud to do so. But people will just believe it and they'll go along with it. Because why? Well, because fuck Hasan. That's why. So it's from every aspect, all the way from the most inconsequential shit like streamer drama, okay, all the way up to massively consequential and important issues. They scream fake news media, so they're more likely to buy into those garbage AI sites peddling garbage as independent journalists. Yeah. Pretty sure you need a billionaire dad to afford a house in West LA. No, I am the person who makes the money. What are you talking about? And people would just unironically go along with a lie, then investigate the truth because the lie makes you feel good. That's it. A key part of China's agenda is to persuade its own citizens and the world, falsely and through deception and coercion, that democratic systems are not better. Beijing claims this system is the best way to guarantee economic prosperity and stability. It is difficult and time-consuming to do the work that provides Beijing is lying. Except the reality of a centrally controlled government being more efficient is not actually done through propaganda. It's done through just the reality. Okay, their development projects are better than ours. Okay. The Western liberal capitalist democracies have been failing for the past couple of decades now. They've been on a downtrend, whereas China in that process has greatly improved both their economy and the material conditions for as many Chinese citizens as possible. Okay? And they've done this because there is centralized control. That's it. You can't just like propagandize that into existence by saying, oh yeah, we're actually doing great. It's just something that you experience. It's something that you see with your own two eyes. I guess the point that they're trying to make is that what is happening is the American government can no longer propagandize against that to make Americans think like, no, Chinese people are eating dogs and rats and they're living in mud huts, I promise. The best way to combat that, and I do think that America should combat that, is by also doing development projects on our own. That's it. It's that simple. It's odd that people do not recognize that. You know? Anyway, people get so mad when you speak positively of China. I want our government to do similar development projects. That's all I want. Okay, I want our government to actually actively compete with China, just like in the Cold War when we competed with the USSR for the space race. I just wish that the American government, if they were going to do a Cold War again, which we are doing already, I just wish that we would compete with China, not by taking on more restrictive and more censorious approaches that exist in China and competing with them on that front, on the surveillance state front. Instead, compete with them on, bullet trains, robust infrastructure projects. It's very frustrating. We take none of the good and all the bad. Without the work that China nonprofits do, it would be much harder to show that China's governance model is deeply flawed if we can no longer prove that. Yeah, I mean, she's basically saying, like, we can't shit on China effectively if USA doesn't fund a lot of our NGOs and whatnot. Do you believe that the shift to the extremely right-wing politics and economics could open the door to swing in the opposite direction? Democrats seem to be trying to get closer to center, which may kill an opportunity for more social safety nets and future admins. Yeah, I don't think that the Democratic Party is going to direct us out of this problem. I don't think that they're going to guide us or lead us out of this problem, if I'm being super real with you, unfortunately. Yeah, they want to do stuff like this. Why don't you ever debate with Asmongold? He thinks all immigrants should get kicked out, even the good, hardworking immigrants. Hashtag DACA. I would be down to do that. I have no issues. I have debated Asmongold in the past, and of course, I will. I'd be down to debate him in the future. If he wants to do that, he can hit me up. You know? Anyway. I think it's because of how fast China grew that America couldn't catch up. Law needed excuses after that. My God, now that you think USAID was sending money to Jeffrey Epstein, not realizing that it's a different Jeffrey Epstein, we're honestly in parody mode. Yeah, this is insane, dude. The Kaiser Foundation Health Plan Incorporated gave $265,000 to Jeffrey Epstein, who was a director at Kaiser Permanente. Jeffrey Epstein, unfortunately, is a very common name, okay? It's an unfortunate one, but it's a common one. What are we doing? What do you think is more likely? That they actually were actively giving money to this guy? Or do they think that it was actually, Jeffrey Epstein who passed away and they're still giving him money, not realizing that it's a totally separate person? Yeah, this is literally an SNL skit. Harvey Epstein, who was also a real guy. Or was the guy's name also Jeffrey Epstein? Or it was Harvey Epstein, right? Harvey Epstein for city council. Anyway, yeah, here it is.
It's true what they say. New York City does not sleep.
Or Jeffrey
which is
Weinstein.
Why we need a city council that reflects who we are. Tough, resilient, and ready to lend a helping hand. It's why we need Harvey Epstein.
Who was apparently a real dude, which is crazy. Anyway, there it is. Doge telling NOAA to reduce the staff by 50% and funding the agency to 30%. They weren't auditing the weather career field. They're slashing it. They're likely going to go after NWS next. Also, where is it? There was another thing. They're trying to slash the CDC, which is also ridiculous. It's just terrifying stuff, okay? These are all of the... It's ironic because, like, these are the things that are good about the federal government. These are the good things. These are the good things about the federal government. And it's very frustrating that they're taking away all of the things that make this country run, okay? Oh. Did you even unpack yet, bruh? No.
Agencies are being targeted, including the intelligence community. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott tracking it all from the White House. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning. And millions of federal employees have just hours to respond to their buyout offers. They are faced with a choice whether to resign now or run the risk of being fired. The deadline tonight. It's decision day for millions of federal employees. At least 40,000 already taking the buyout offer to resign now with several months of pay. And this morning, many intelligence workers faced with that same deadline too, to quit now or possibly be laid off in the future. To comply with the review of the federal workforce, the CIA emailed a list.
Yeah, accurate weather forecasting could be said to benefit the economy by at least billions, not trillions. Yeah, and also, accurate weather forecasting that you see and consume as a regular citizen is only the tip of the iceberg, okay, that the NOAA offers. Like, this is massively consequential, okay? Your weather app on your phone would not work if it wasn't for the weather service that the government offers, the government provides. Every part of commerce relies on this, okay? Flight in its entirety relies on this. So the idea that we're cutting this, or rather even more nefarious than simply cutting it, okay? Cutting it and then privatizing this service, because that's what I think they want to do. They want to turn the NOAA into like a SpaceX style service provider and have one guy make trillions of fucking dollars to offer this service that is currently being given to everybody that the federal government provides. They want to take it and privatize it. They want one guy to own it. Do you know how much money you could make if you are the guy tasked with figuring out what the fuck's going on with the weather and the government is not offering this as a service? The opportunities are endless. The opportunities for profit are endless, okay? Sorry, your subscription for tornado warnings ran out. So, unfortunately, your pilots are going to be flying blind today, okay? We have paywalled the weather service, so we can't track what's going to happen. Who knows? I work as a grid operator and we rely on NOAA publicly available data to keep the power on. Yeah, every aspect of this, every aspect of commerce, every aspect of industry utilizes the NOAA's National Weather Service. Okay? I don't know how to explain to you how important this is. Like, it's insane. And it's not just like climate change research or woke stuff. I'm talking directly. One of the invisible ways in which the federal government is making your lives better. Okay? It's crazy to try and ruin the service and then sell it off to someone who will be able to paywall it. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, Adam Conover did an Obama-produced show on Netflix called The G Word. And I think it's a really good show overall that touches on exactly what I'm talking about. The invisible ways in which the federal government works and these agencies work that we rely on in our day-to-day experiences. It's a thankless job in general, okay?
List of new employees to the White House.
Anyway, the U.S. intelligence workers getting buyout offers, except a judge put a pause on this, so don't worry. As a federal work in a science agency, government data has multiple quality controls to ensure accuracy and safety on data usage. Yeah, there's also the shittier product that will be available if privatized. There's that too.
Over a non-classified system. That list included the first names and last initial of employees hired in the last 2 years. But now it has prompted fear and concern that those intelligence officers could be at risk.
We go to great length to protect the cover for CIA officers, and if all of that can be destroyed.
I'm a DACA recipient, have studied and worked hard and contributed to the economy, never associated with crime and gang. In your opinion, should I be deported? The hell? No, dude. What are you talking about? How does someone find my Twitch account and not know, like, this is the most basic thing? No. I'm a massive advocate for immigration in general. Like, DACA is, again, the tip of the iceberg, a profoundly popular program, and is still endlessly restricted for no reason. I'm not even talking about DACA, though. I think the overwhelming majority of undocumented migrants that have been working on U.S. soil for the past decade plus should immediately be offered amnesty. Like, DACA? What do you mean? That's yesterday. You asked me what to do with DACA. It's like, yeah, citizenship now. Citizenship years ago. That's crazy. DACA is unfair and insanely restrictive already. I know people on DACA. They can't even leave the country. It's ridiculous. Here, let's finish this. Oh my God, I'm all over the place today. Sorry.
Reckless, malicious sending of an email that blows our cover and makes us much more vulnerable.
Federal employees received those buyout offers with an email titled "A Fork in the Road," the same subject line billionaire Elon Musk sent to Twitter employees when he took over the company in 2022. Democrats warning employees should proceed with caution, on Capitol Hill sounding the alarm about Musk and his massive reach into the federal government.
I move that the committee subpoena Elon Musk to come before it as a witness at the earliest possible moment.
The hearing quickly turning into a shouting match.
Yes, let's have order in this country.
Stansbury, you're out of order. You know you're out of order. You know the rules of this committee. There's been a motion.
Mr. Elon Musk is out of order and dismantled.
He's out of order. God.
Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency only digging deeper into federal agencies, from the humanitarian agency USAID to the Department of Education to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, the government's health care programs vital to 160 million Americans. And at Treasury, more Musk's team gain access to the department's payment system, which includes the personal information of millions of Americans. Overnight, the Department of Justice only agreed to allow 2 special government employees with ties to Musk to see that sensitive data. One is the former chief executive of a Silicon Valley tech company, and the other is a 25-year-old engineer who worked for X and SpaceX, 2 companies Musk owns. The White House says Musk is working hand in hand with the president.
The 2 of them, with a great team around them, were going to look at the receipts of this federal government and ensure it's accountable to American taxpayers.
President Trump's push to shrink the federal government has prompted confusion, with some programs caught in the middle. Even though a judge blocked the president's freeze on federal grants, some Head Start programs providing daycare for low-income children are still shut out of payments nearly a week later.
These are the most vulnerable people in our society. These are low-income 3- and 4-year-olds that are just looking for an opportunity to be ready for school and hopefully have a chance for a better life.
And the Trump administration is facing a slew of legal challenges this morning. So yesterday we saw a federal judge block the president's executive order on birthright citizenship. Today, a different judge will weigh the future of these buyout offers that are being spread across the federal government. And then also we reported on the FBI turning over a list of agents who worked on January 6th related cases to the Department of Justice. Well, we do know that some of those FBI agents sued, saying that they are now being targeted by their own department. There is a hearing in that case today, George.
On that front as well, the Attorney General Pam Bondi at her confirmation hearing said she would not use her office to target Trump's political opponents. She appears to be going back on that promise.
Yeah, George, just hours after Pam Bondi was sworn in as Attorney General, she launched the Weaponization Working Group that is going to review what she calls politicized actions of people who have investigated President Donald Trump at both a state and also a federal level. But Democrats quick to point out that it was Bondi during her confirmation hearing saying that no one would be politically prosecuted simply because they are opponent of President Trump.
We are following breaking news. A judge has just paused tonight's midnight.
Boom. That was quick. Well, I guess it wasn't quick, but
midnight deadline for federal employees to decide whether to take President Trump's so-called buyout. The deal would mean that they quit their jobs and hope to be paid through September or risk getting laid off anyway. It's part of the Trump administration's aggressive push to shrink the government. And at the center of it all is Elon Musk. Over the past 3 weeks or so, we have watched the world's richest man threaten massive job cuts across several agencies, from the Treasury to the U.S. Agency for International Development and the CIA, just to name a few. Next, he could come swinging for the Department of Education and the Environmental Protection Agency, and we'll have more on that in a moment. First, though, let's turn to CNN's Jeff Zeleny, who is live for us at the White House. Jeff, walk us through the judge's decision. It's a big one, and are you hearing anything from the administration in response?
Well, Brianna, we were about 10 hours or so away from that midnight deadline where federal employees would have been able to accept this offer to essentially not return to work and be paid through September if they would not like to participate in the return to office program. But that is all now on hold. As you said, a federal judge in Massachusetts putting the deadline on hold pending oral arguments on Monday. So for now, at least, this is in suspension mode. This is what we've seen from several executive orders the president has signed. The judge steps in and puts a bit of a pause on this. So far, the White House has not reacted to this ruling. We are expected to hear from the president later. I'm sure he will have words to say on this. But at the heart of this is how some federal workers believe they're actually being respected or not in the case of this order. The White House press secretary just a short time ago had this to say about this offer.
We encourage federal workers in this city to accept the very generous offer. If they don't want to show up to the office, if they want to rip the American people off, then they're welcome to take this buyout, and we'll find highly competent individuals who want to fill these roles.
Her words there, if they want to rip the American people off. Who she's talking about there is the federal workforce, from the CIA to the FBI to the FAA, actual people behind these offers. And just because people may be working from home or off-site does not mean, of course, that they're ripping people off. But if you look at some of these factors now that are going into this, an email was sent out overnight giving employees one more chance to sign up for all of this, and they're really trying to make the case here that it's good for them. But the three federal unions that brought this suit are arguing and have been instructing workers to be very careful about this buyout offer because they say there are no guarantees at all for any of this. So for now, at least, Brianna, this is on hold until Monday, pending oral arguments. Again, no immediate comment from the White House. We've checked, and they've not gotten back to us. Brianna?
All right, we'll wait to see what they do say. Jeff Zeleny live for us at the White House. Thank you. Boris?
Federal employees at the EPA's Environmental Justice and Civil Rights Office have been told they could be put on leave in the coming days. They were told at an all-staff meeting the change would be part of President Trump's order ending all DEI initiatives. CNN's Renee Marsh is going to break this down for us. Renee, the Trump administration has already closed the EPA's DEI office. So what does the Environmental Justice Office do, and how many workers could be impacted?
Right, so this is an
Dude, we are literally never going to get free healthcare in this goddamn country. How about any healthcare? We're not even going to get like proper pandemic response. We're not even going to have food that is safe to consume. This is not me this is not me being hyperbolic at all. That is what these agencies are tasked with doing. Okay? Regulating drugs. Like making sure that drugs are safe to consume so they don't kill you, that they actually do what they're tasked with doing. Making sure that your water supply is clean. These are the things. These are the things that are going away, chat. EU perspective, you guys are fucked. Dude, everything that happens to us will always happen to you as well. This is something that I have warned my European chatters about quite a bit. What's going on here, it will inevitably happen there as well. Something that you guys have to understand. It doesn't just stay here. It's coming for you too. I'm not saying this as like, I'm not saying this to threaten you or anything like that. or to freak you out or to gloat or anything like that. I'm saying this as a warning, okay? That is how, I mean, look at Elon Musk. He's already actively working to ruin European countries and actively involving himself in European political affairs as well. And it already has been happening through the same exact capitalist interests, undermining the regulatory agencies in perpetuity. That's it. The EU is just America on a 10-year delay. They have their Trumps pop up everywhere now. Yeah. Aren't we just watching the first step of Project 2025? Yes. Yes. But as I've stated before, Project 2025 didn't happen overnight. It's been happening. It happened in the last Trump administration. And we're there already. And we're going to continue going down this trajectory.
Office, it's the environmental justice as well as the external civil rights office. And these are individuals who are making sure that grants, policies are keeping in mind that there are certain communities that could be facing disproportionate impacts from things like climate change and pollution, and making sure that federal funding and programs are equitably distributed so that they can prepare themselves, make sustainability plans for their communities, as well as resilience for their communities. So that's at the heart of the work that they do there. But the Trump administration sees work like this as an extension of DEI. However, many of the employees I speak to don't view themselves as DEI employees. They actually see that this is work that's being done to make sure that all communities have access to the resources to protect themselves from things like pollution and climate change. So back to what we're learning, many of the staffers within this office and division of the EPA are literally on pins and needles, waiting to hear that they too would be put on paid administrative leave. And this comes after that meeting that you mentioned, in which they essentially said that we plan on enforcing.
Dude, stop using Twitter chat and HasnAbi is so funny. That's your takeaway from this process, is that like Elon Musk will undermine Elon Musk this way. Brother, sister, NBs, there is no decipherable, discernible, significant way that you can avoid products that billionaires purchase and own and control, okay? As long as Twitter is a primary source of communication for other journalists, I will continue using it. Okay? That's it. It's not like the top of the hour ad break that you can avoid by subscribing for $6 or for free. Okay? That's not how that works. Just kidding. I'm not running ad breaks. You got double debated. Ow. I want to briefly show you guys the new glasses that I got in Japan. I got to put some optics in it. It's called Ivon. Japanese glasses are crazy. They go nutty mode. These don't have these are just the frames so far, but wait, oh. This is one of them. And here's the other one. And then this is the other one. Fake glasses wearer, Pago, yeah. And then this is the other one. Same but in tortoise shell. Tortoise. Tortoise. The brand is a Japanese brand called Hayvan, which is funny because hayvan means animal in Turkish and in Arabic too, I think. I got to give these to my mom. And then I got another, I got some secondhand thrifted glasses too. Are they pricey? Yes. The Hayvan ones were pricey. The thrifted ones were not. Your under eyes look a little puffy. You good, dog? No, obviously I'm not good. I just got off the plane from Japan and instantly started. Hey, Sean Raid. Sean the Black. Thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Hope all is well. We are watching the collapse of American society. Sean had his biggest stream today, 3K viewers. Let's go. Nice. Respect.
Forcing the president's directive through his executive order to dismantle programs like this. And so what does that mean? I mean, his executive order very clearly states that offices focused on environmental justice should be terminated. So employees got that word yesterday. Fast forward to today, I've not received any messages from anyone saying that they've been placed on leave, but they said that they are expecting that this will happen in the coming days. And of course, Boris, this is just one of many agencies in which we have seen this.
Yeah, apparently DOJ looking at every single agency across the U.S. government. Renee Marsh, thanks so much for the update. Brianna?
And with us now is Democratic Congresswoman Melanie Stansbury. She is the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee's DOJ subcommittee, which is a mouthful. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being with us. And you and a number of other Democrats showed up at Treasury a couple days ago after we had learned that Elon Musk's DOJ effort had gained access to their payment machine, which was a big deal. Was it, though, just a show of opposition? Were you able to achieve something?
Well, I think, first of all, we have to observe that even a federal court judge today agreed that Elon Musk is breaking the law. Whether that's trying to fire federal officials, they're freezing federal funds, they're stealing our data at Treasury. And so over 24 members of Congress in both the House and the Senate showed up. We requested access to...
Oh, you hate how it's called Doge? Yeah, me too. The fact that it's like such a juvenile... It's not even a juvenile. It's like a boomer joke. The fact that it's such a goddamn boomer joke that people are running with, it's like 9gag humor. I hate it. Reddit ass country. Honestly, even Reddit is turning on Elon Musk, so it's no longer, it's worse than that. It's worse than Reddit. It's 9gag shit. It's like iFunny memes. It's stuff that your boomer divorced parents share with one another for ha-has. It's so lame. It's a Twitter joke, which is the new Facebook joke. Like Doge is what? Peak 2014 comedy. Yeah.
Meet with the Secretary of...
I'm not going to leak the email, but I just got a NASA email saying, as per the executive orders, we have disabled the ability to display your pronouns in Teams and Outlook. We're so fuck law. Yeah, it's just like, it's dumb things like that they're doing just to prove a point, I guess. That's what they're doing. They're proving a point. They're targeting woke, which is gender pronouns.
The Treasury and to discuss what's going on and to find out from both politicals and senior officials what data they have access to. When we got there, we met with the Secret Service who was guarding the area, and basically We were told that the politicals had been informed we were there, and they left us standing outside. And so there were probably thousands of people in the streets. The American people are marching in every major city right now, demanding that Elon Musk be held accountable. And so our responsibility as members of Congress is to show up, to conduct oversight. We were there to perform oversight over the secretary and the Doge team, and we were denied access. So that's why we were there.
And so you don't have this lever really of lawsuits because Democrats are not in control of Congress. But there are outside lawsuits, and as you mentioned, and we just covered, you're now seeing stuff move through the courts. It is a slower process, certainly, than the swift process that we see Elon Musk and his Doge associates sweeping through the government with. So do you have confidence that the court system can respond in the manner and with the speed that it needs to in order to address concerns that you have?
I mean, right now, it's the tool that we have to stop them in their tracks. If you look at what happened last week, illegally, the White House froze funds for literally thousands of entities across the country. They tried to lock states out of the Medicaid system. And within 24 hours, we went to the courts, the state attorney generals went to the courts, and 2 different federal judges said, this is illegal. We're going to put a pause on this. We now have this with the federal employees. We now have this with the Treasury Department. The courts is the tool right now because Republicans control not only the House and the Senate, but the White House as well. And so, if you watch the Oversight Committee yesterday, they've completely abdicated any oversight on the Republican side of the aisle. In fact, when we tried to invite Elon Musk to come appear in front of the committee, they denied our request. And then we tried to subpoena him yesterday. And when we tried to hold
Champagne Cyclist, think of it 10 tier 1, give the subs.
them to account, all hell broke out in the committee because they have zero interest in performing oversight.
Well, part of it didn't work out because that was a surprise move, right, to subpoena Elon Musk. But there were actually a couple Democrats who were critical to the effort who didn't show up. They missed the vote, insisting that they wanted to be there, but it was something that was organized pretty quickly. You told this to Kristen Welker in December. I want to listen to this.
I don't know how that happens. Aren't you so glad Obama let Mitch McConnell block all of his judicial appointments so Trump was able to make them? Yeah. No. I do not think history will be kind to the Democratic Party, and they shouldn't be. Every step of this process for the past couple decades, the Democratic Party was so incompetent in dealing with an increasingly militant, increasingly more reactionary Republican Party. And they completely dropped the ball to a degree that makes even someone like myself consider them to be the controlled opposition party, deliberately failing so that the Republicans can dominate. History might not be kind to the Democrats because Republicans will just completely dominate in perpetuity, or it might not be kind to the Democrats because the Republicans do end up, going full tilt fascism and then losing control, or the inevitable collapse that takes place because the contradictions are far too severe for fascism to continue, and then we'll still do an autopsy on what took place and how we got to this point. Jon Stewart kind of touched on this a few days ago too. Hey everybody! On Trump's trade war, the war on DEI, and the myth of marriage. I think transphobia aside, one of the lamest things you can do is copy the British. And this is just copying the British. The LGB stuff had no motion in America. It's not like a big demand. The only place where I've actually seen this expressed in like popular discourse was England. And the fact that we are copying England this way is really gross. Like, transphobia aside, it's just completely unacceptable to copy. They're just like attacking grammar. This is one of those things that I've always thought was so stupid. Like, I don't have he, him on my profile. I don't think, or maybe I do, but I don't know. You want to know why? Because who cares? Like, it's such a wild thing to just, it's such a wild thing to care about, okay? It is such an insane thing to be upset about. This is the type of thing that you get mad at when you have nothing real to be mad about, okay? Like, you have no challenges in your life, no adversity whatsoever, and this is the thing that you're combating. Ridiculous. Oh. You're saying that being against pronouns in bio is stupid, not the act of having, yeah. Yeah, like what? Why? What? How would this ever be? How would this ever be in any way remotely problematic? Like what? Why does it upset you so much? It's a bit where he said Ron DeSantis would be the type of guy to sign a law saying all of Roald Dahl's blackface characters are good. Trump is now bringing that to life. Yeah, I mean, that's precisely what it is. It's just like trying to legislate or trying to mandate that you become unwoke by government dicta. Like, what a stupid fucking thing to do. It's just, it's so stupid. I don't understand it. I also don't understand how dumb people can be where they actually look at this stuff and go, based, this is it. This is what the government is doing. Finally, responsive governance. Doing the things that I really wanted. The things that I've been demanding. Like, if this is what your interest is, you are such a pathetic loser. Now, of course, this aspect of it, this aspect of the conversation is silly. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's a distraction. But there's also serious consequences for trans existence in this country in general. Despite making up a minuscule percentage of the overall public, trans people are definitely under attack in very meaningful ways. Okay? The goal here is to eradicate trans people out of existence. Just like get them out of the public eye, make sure that they cannot get hormone replacement, that make sure that they just can't be trans. You know what I mean? That they're forced to exist with the assigned gender at birth. It's completely unacceptable. And they created a permission structure for this kind of attitude by regularly presenting trans people as enemies when they couldn't do it by bathroom bans and things of that nature. They went back to the drawing board and figured out better avenues of attack, talking about how trans people are actually unfairly trying to dominate in the field of sports. That's why Donald Trump signed that executive order. There were more people in that room celebrating Donald Trump's executive order banning trans athletes than there were trans athletes in the United States of America. There are 39 NCAA trans athletes, 39 across every single field, every single sport. Okay? 39 total. There were more people sitting in that room standing behind Donald Trump than there are trans athletes. Sounds like a mental illness? Yes, transphobia is a mental illness. If you are hyperfixated on such a minuscule percentage of the population and it occupies this much space in your mind, yes, you are mentally ill. 100%. I agree. Which one is in the DSM-5? Ironically enough, homosexuality also was in the DSM, so I don't know what you're trying to say about that. Also, yeah, obsessive compulsive is in the DSM-5, and I would imagine conservative fixation would fit into that. Yeah, it is. It is a hyperfixation that is obsessive. It's interesting to me that I fear that Jon Stewart in this day and age, I think, has lost a lot of his radical edge. Like, I know that this comes across as like, I don't know, maybe gallows humor or whatever, but I do think that he has dialed it back. I feel like I expect more aggressive commentary from him. Was on pulled over with a Hitler salute in his name. I already banned him myself. What are you talking about? Like, I banned him immediately. Thank God we have the most swagged out. Thank God we have the best orators tasked with obstructing the Republican Party and undermining the Republican Party's agenda. Thank God. Because clearly we learned the lessons from the last 4 years where we had someone manning the helm, manning the ship that was not a communicator at all because he was dead. He was a cadaver. So I'm glad that the Democratic Party learned from that and said, hey, we mustn't repeat the mistakes, and we must make sure that we have better communicators that will actively undermine the Republican agenda and will do a good job of showcasing what we're doing to the American public at a time when the Democratic Party is historically unpopular. Like, if the Democratic Party is supposed to be the party that protects the government and the federal agencies, and it's a big point of divergence from the Republican Party that seeks to undermine federal regulatory agencies, then this is a fantastic opportunity to communicate that message, okay? To show this separation at a time when the Republicans are flooding the market with a sea of misinformation and consistently trying to create propaganda to explain why they must destroy the National Institute of Health, for example. Okay? You should be screaming from the rooftops of how devastating this would look like as Donald Trump seeks to undermine it. Even the past couple of weeks of like the aviation disasters that took place is a great opportunity to talk about how the ATC is underfunded, how many of the air traffic towers do not have the necessary resources and the labor power to ensure safety in air travel. It's incredibly important. And they're just not doing that at all. And the overarching Democratic Party response to all of this is we pick our battles and we lay down on the train tracks. That's what he said. That's what Chuck Schumer said. Incredible amounts of messaging opportunities for them, even from the optics front. You know what I mean? Like, even if you want to win, like, I'm putting on my Democratic Party consultant hat for a brief moment and saying, what the fuck are you guys doing?
We've promised.
Yeah, I saw some stuff that she said that was like, I saw some stuff that she said that made me feel like she is also hitting like rad lib notes rather than a pro-labor attitude. Bro doesn't like anyone law. I mean, yeah. I have criticisms of every single politician, okay, including Bernie Sanders, but I love Bernie Sanders. Okay? She's an opportunist. She has no values but to climb the ranks. Yeah.
To stop the inflow of guns. So, self-invented crisis averted.
If you want me to tell you who I like from the new crop of talent in the Democratic Party, Summer Lee, Greg Kazar, obviously the old guard now of the squad is still pretty solid overall, even though there are mistakes that they make from time to time. They're good. I wouldn't say, I don't know enough about Maxwell Frost. I do know that he went back and forth on Israel related issues. And that's a telltale indicator for me that there are certain lines that a lot of young politicians refuse to cross. And this was when he first won his election. Dog, Greg Kazar is literally not pro-Palestine. What? Yes, this is also an issue. You're absolutely correct on this. Okay, I hear Richie Torres is a good one to watch. Yeah, okay, dude, it's a good one. Greg Kazar has also had some wishy-washy takes on Israel as well, which is again an indicator that you are susceptible to lobbying, an indicator that you are susceptible to not reading the room, right? But at least Greg Kazar has like a strong labor background and also a track record of being not only pro-labor, but like having successes in local in local positions. That's classic Trump. Act like you're going to break something, get a lot of pushback, then say, okay, I'm not breaking the thing that I was going to break, and then turn around and chalk that up as a W to your dumbass fans. Ridiculous. And he did this a lot. He did this so much in his first presidential administration. So it should not be surprising that he's doing it again, like a child. In that vein, no, I think the Gaza ownership thing is more nefarious. The Gaza ownership conversation is just also classic Trump, which is saying the quiet part out loud. Democrats would never make the mistake of openly stating that they have a desire to do mass ethnic displacement. They would relegate that to the backroom dealings. They would talk about it behind the scenes, try to urge Egypt to open up the floodgates and move Palestinians into the Sinai Peninsula. That was the reason why I said in my 2024 predictions that that was what was going to happen. Okay? And lo and behold, yes, they did actually actively try to do that, urge Egypt and other states like Jordan to make preparations to do mass ethnic displacement of Palestinians. Just so you know, before all of the liberals that freak out and say, "Oh, well, Trump is doing this. Trump is doing this." Like, what now? Yeah, this is something that apparently the Biden administration also quietly pushed for as well. The difference between Trump and Biden, on the other hand, is that Trump says the quiet part out loud. He takes the maximalist position openly. Okay? Whether it will actually happen is an entirely separate conversation. I mean, this is something that even Benjamin Netanyahu unironically actively praised. Benjamin Netanyahu actively praised this when he said, Donald Trump is so good because he says things others are too afraid to say. This is also something that this is make no mistake. This is a logical extension of the past 16 months under the Biden administration, where there was so much death and destruction. When Donald Trump says, when Donald Trump says, "Oh, Gaza is filled to the brim with rubble. We have to clear it out and rebuild." Who actually destroyed Gaza? Israel did. Who actually allowed Israel to destroy Gaza? Biden did. Okay, that didn't happen as a natural disaster. So just remember that when I say there is no indication, for example, that the previous administration or even Kamala Harris would be that much different, even though, yes, history has shown that while foreign policy is uniparty, the only difference is that the Trump administration or Republicans will oftentimes extend and take it even further right, and then Democrats refuse to fix it. Okay? This is what I mean. The diplomat said, here it is, Egypt rejected similar proposals from the Biden administration and European countries early in the war, which was sparked by Hamas' October 7, 2023 attack into southern Israel. The earlier proposals were broached privately while Trump announced his plan at a White House press conference alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Do you understand? So it's interesting hearing from people that European leaders, for example, that actively defended the Biden administration, that actively defended Israel's death and destruction in Gaza, only now to turn around and say, oh, Trump is saying the final solution. He's advocating for ethnic cleansing. That's unacceptable. We cannot do mass displacement. That is a violation of international humanitarian laws. It's like, yeah? So 16 months of unlimited genocide wasn't a violation? It's only a violation now that Trump is saying it? That's it. That's the major difference. Democrats try to manufacture consent surrounding the issues that they advocate for. Even if they fail, they still try to do it. And they try to do destabilization in a more covert fashion. Republicans, especially nowadays, do not care about being covert. They will do it openly. They will celebrate the brutality.
Qatari Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani is due to meet with U.S. Middle East envoys.
What exactly is your point, though? The Democrats are not in power. Biden is not the president. He was not even running by the time the election happened. So, like, what is your point? I get it. It was bad, but you're doing, like, nothing to help anything. Wait, what? No, this is simply addressing something that's very important that people have to contend with, because a lot of liberals think that this is not a uniparty process, especially foreign policy. And they think like, oh, what now, pro-Palestine protesters? Like, you did this. This is what you wanted. You're getting what you wanted. When most of the pro-Palestinian advocacy came from the understandable fears they had towards a Trump administration, moving the needle even further in terms of genocide, death, and destruction, and therefore urging the Biden administration and the Kamala Harris campaign to take a strong stance against Israel to stop the bleeding. Okay? That's it. So at this stage, if you're looking at lesser evil harm reduction arguments around what's more harmful, mass ethnic displacement campaign, forcibly moving Palestinians out of their ancestral lands, or what's worse, death and destruction and a mass bombing campaign that destroys all structures that are standing in Gaza, that is an insane conversation to be having. Okay? We've already completely lost the plot if that is the boundaries. That's the moral conundrum that we have in front of us, that is what we're arguing on behalf of.
Steve Witkoff in Florida later on Thursday. The meeting comes ahead of the next exchange of Israeli captives for Palestinian prisoners as part of the Gaza ceasefire deal, which is expected on Saturday. Let's take this on with Rami Khoury, who's a distinguished public policy fellow at the American University of Beirut. Joins us now from Boston in the United States, in fact. So, Rami, first up, what's your sense of this conversation that's going to be had between the Qatari Prime Minister and Steve Witkoff? It would be interesting to be a fly on the wall in the the light of what President Trump has been saying?
Oh, absolutely. It's a critical relationship. Qatar has proved to be, with Egypt, essential to get the process moving to the point where we are now, starting the second phase of the negotiations, which would ultimately get the Israelis out of Gaza, all hostages and prisoners released, and the end of the war. So the problem is that the Qatari position is clear, the Egyptian position is clear, the Hamas position is quite clear, but the Israeli position and the American position are like a kaleidoscope. They keep moving around and new ideas are presented. There are huge internal debates within Israel that keep throwing obstacles into the way of the process. Netanyahu's legal fate is on the line. He has to go to court. He may go to jail. So there are lots of moving parts that are not clear what the implications are. And the latest is, of course, Trump's proposal to get the Palestinians out of Gaza, which already is being walked back by his senior officials, his foreign minister, his Middle East envoy, his press secretary. They're all kind of walking back, saying,
But
"Oh,
not
this
by
is
him.
temporary." Not by him, because he doesn't really have a clear idea of what he's talking about. He's a showman. He does drama, he does disruption, and he does disillusion. And he's really a delusion. He's really done all of these in this proposal. It's kind of make-believe. It's not going to work. Very few people in the world want it. Most governments have opposed it. So what he says gets the discussion moving. The real question that nobody has answered yet, there's lots of speculation, both here in the U.S. and in the Middle East, is, well, what is his ultimate aim? Most people, I feel from my discussions and following this, most people tend to feel that what he's trying to do is put out there an outrageous proposition that he knows is not feasible, but he wants it to soften the Saudi position on normalization with Israel. This is the big prize that the U.S. under Biden and now under Trump, that they've always looked for. They want to get Saudi Arabia and Israel to have normal diplomatic relations, feeling that this would open the door to all the other Arab countries following suit. And the Saudis have actually taken a harder line position after the Trump proposal. So these are incredibly important discussions. They're going to focus narrowly on the discussions in Florida today, are going to focus on the negotiations to release the hostages and the Palestinian prisoners.
Indeed. And are you on that? Are you, and the ceasefire in general, are you fearful now, given what's being said by the president, the ceasefire deal as a whole?
No, I don't put a lot of emphasis on what Trump says. He says all kinds of things. He changes his mind. He clarifies. He denies. So he's not a reliable source, as the news business people say, though he is president of the United States. So what he says has to be considered seriously, but it should not be taken as a clear path towards a policy. It has other motives, some business, some personal.
you.